Welcome back to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Mendte. The price of a gallon of gasoline is going to take a big jump on October 1st because of an increase in the gas tax. But the man who heads up the Association for Gas Station Owners says it's not going to be that bad if people are just allowed to pump their own gas. Here is my interview with Sal Rizzavato, Executive Director of the New Jersey Gasoline Convenience Store and Automotive Association. Sir, I really appreciate you spending the time. Could you tell our viewers what your organization does and who it represents?
Larry, my organization is the New Jersey Gasoline C-Store and Automotive Association, and we represent the traditional gas station, the corner gas station, gasoline retailers, auto repair shops, and now convenience stores, because many gas stations have converted their repair shops into convenience stores. So we represent those small businesses that operate gasoline retail businesses.
So from what I understand, on October 1st, the price of gas is going to go up 9.3 cents, all in taxes, because it automatically kicks in because of the 2016 law. If there's a shortfall, you get to, in the transportation fund, the taxes go up. How does that affect your members?
That 9.3 cents now takes New Jersey to be uncompetitive with our neighboring states, particularly New York. New York had a gas price at the pump that for 30 years was 30 to 45 cents a gallon higher than New Jersey's. And for more than 30 years, we enjoyed many New York motorists crossing the border, because along the northern border of New Jersey, it's like driving down the street. And that's what they did to buy their gas. There is also a significant amount of New York's population that drives through New Jersey to commute into New York City. And they made it their habit. It was their creed for 30 years to make their gasoline purchases while they were in New Jersey. Once that tax went into effect at the end of 2016, New Jersey lost a significant amount of gas volume to New York. We can prove it almost to the gallon. And the reason we can do that is New York has not raised their gas tax since we raised ours, and their revenues have skyrocketed. And the calculation with the amount that their revenues skyrocketed by the amount of gallons that it represents, we can show that New York has taken the lion's share of that. Delaware has taken another significant amount. The total between the two states is 450 million gallons a year, or at our current tax rate, $190 million a year in revenue that belongs in the New Jersey Treasury, that is now in both the New York Treasury and the Delaware Treasury.
Now that was before the tax hike, right?
That was before
this happened.
That was before this 9.3 cents.
And now New York will be, and tell me if my figures are right, because I think this is important. And now it would be, New York on average would be 7 cents lower than what we are going to be charging for gasoline. And in Delaware, 28 cents lower. Is that right?
Yes. New York's tax will now be lower than ours. Our motorists in New Jersey are now going to cross the border to New York to buy gas.
Can anyone stop this?
We believe very strongly, with past history since the law has been passed, that the governor can stop this, that the governor and the treasurer have discretion to be able to either lower the tax that they're going to impose on us, or eliminate it altogether by virtue of discretion that they have according to the law. The law states that the revenues that must be collected over an 8-year period is $2 billion a year. They have concluded that because of a revenue decrease in this past fiscal year, that they need to increase the tax by 9.3 cents. If they were to say spread that 9.3 cents out over the remaining 4 years of this legislation, that would be a much less significant blow to New Jersey and to its motorists and to the small business owners that sell gasoline in the state.
When you go to Trenton and you make your arguments about the 9.3 cent increase, can you propose something to help offset the cost to your members?
Yes, very easily. In fact, I've already proposed it. And it would negate the reason for even having the revenue shortfall. We have showed that the revenues in New Jersey are falling short, as I said earlier, because we have lost a lot of gas volume to both New York and Delaware. Both of those states, we're competing with prices where they allow their motorists to pump their own gas. And that's the price that's on their pump. Our price in New Jersey is 10 to maybe even 20 cents a gallon higher. I'm going to say on average 15 cents a gallon higher, because we do not permit motorists to pump their own gas. If we were to permit motorists to pump their own gas, and the price in New Jersey dropped tomorrow by 15 cents a gallon, the motorists in New York would now have more incentive to return to New Jersey to purchase their gasoline. Our tax revenues would increase. We wouldn't need to be considering gas tax increases. And further, those revenues that I spoke about, the windfall in New York doesn't get that windfall anymore. New York now has to say, should we increase our tax, widening the delta and giving an additional competitive advantage to New Jersey, bringing additional gallons and tax revenues into New Jersey, negating the need for further tax increases, and continuing to put pressure on New York and even Delaware.
I really appreciate your time. Good luck. I'd love to check in with you, especially after you have your conversations with the governor's office to find out if this is going to go through the way it should. Sal Rizzavato, Executive Director of the NJGCA. Still to come, you're going to meet a real-life booze fairy. That's next.